Could be next. Does that just show sort of your focus heading into this fight?
Well, yeah, because they're asking what's next. Everybody seems to be downplaying Jack Catteral here, and you know that's a given that I'm going to win this fight, which I think there's no other result apart from myself winning. You know, I can't see it. But you know, everybody's sort of what's next. I'm like, well, Jack Catteral's next. He's a massive task in front of me. You know, he's a big threat. He's a great fighter. He's 26-0. Beat everyone in front of him with sort of relative ease. He's had problems, and you know, I've seen things in his game that you know I'm going to expose. But you know, he's 26-0 and he's been mandatory challenger for a while, and he's a great fighter. So he poses a massive threat. But you know, I just believe on my night, he doesn't get anywhere near me.
Those are the words of Josh Taylor. And Josh Taylor shows and how he didn't want to talk about other fighters. You know, and the way he explained it was perfect. Who's the next? Who's next? Who's next? Okay, Jack Catterall's next. That's who we need to be talking about. That's who we need to be focused on. That's what is the fight that is at hand. See, I think a lot of people need to understand what focus means. Focus is not just a word, okay? Focus is something that you practice. And the way you practice focus is focusing on one thing. How do you do that? Not talking about other things, okay? See, when people say, oh man, don't worry about that, I'm not focused on this, but then yet they go on a rant about a totally different fighter that has nothing to do with the fight at hand, they have already lost focus. It could happen that quick. That quick. You can lose focus that quick because you're now thinking, engaging, and your mind's expanding as you talk and you think about somebody else instead of the person you haven't fought yet. So shouts out to Josh Taylor for making that apparent. That's one of the things that I do respect about Floyd Money Mayweather or Floyd Pretty Boy Mayweather, is because either one, he did not want to talk about some other opponent other than the opponent that is in front of him that he hasn't beaten yet. You've heard it time and time again, you know, and that's what you call focus, or practicing focus, precise, concentrated focus. We're not going to talk about Manny Pacquiao. We're not going to talk about that other fight. We're talking about Victor Ortiz. We're talking about Marcos Maidana. We're not talking about those other fighters. This fight right here is the fight we need to talk about, because this fight is who I'm fighting. And he wouldn't allow anything else or anybody else gauge in talking about any of that other stuff. Right? Couldn't do it. He didn't do it. But that just shows you. And it also keeps you in mind to market that particular fight besides some other fight. So shout out to the legend Floyd Mayweather for having that same mindset, along with the current undisputed light welterweight champion Josh Taylor for having the similar mindset. But anyway, you guys tell me what you think about Josh Taylor's focus on his current opponent. Of course, please subscribe. And you guys been Counterpunched. Peace.